Forget all your differences, let we start to build. And onward to progress we surely will. Because now, more than ever, we must show discipline, tolerance, and production to build a strong and better nation. I say that is the main foundation. So come let us work hand in hand, because this is our land. Come my brother, come my sister, and let us build a nation together. So much of things that we need to see about. Surely I do have to spell them out.
Yes, indeed. So many things we, the people, have to see about. I don't have to tell you, you know. We have to build Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique better than we met it, better than now, better than the present situation that she's in. Because I believe Grenada, but plenty of us, cause us to be here living a good life. But we must improve it so our children and children can at least say we did something good for them, laying the solid foundation so that they can continue and live even a better life, right? Because I think that is our duty. Our duty is to make it better for our children and children. They will take it up from there. I want to welcome you to the Hub. Again, another opportunity that you and I have to converse using radio and social media to connect. And that's the beautiful thing about technology. With technology, you can access this program on YouTube, on Facebook, on radio. That's Vibes 101.3 FM and 106.3 FM. This morning, I had the first program after Carnival. Because you know, I took a 3 days break after Carnival because, you know, even after the Carnival, you have a lot of cool down events and the people are pretty busy even after Spice Mass. So I am back. I did the first program this morning and a great many people were happy to welcome me back and to see me on the program doing what I try to do at my very, very, very best. All right, I'm not perfect, but I try my very best to disseminate credible information, to educate you, to empower you, to motivate you, to make sure that we have a robust intellectual debate via radio and social media. And we had over 11,000 people viewing via Facebook and YouTube, which is really great. Radio, the usual 5,000, the usual 6,000 people will listen via radio. So far, so good. So far, so good. I want to start off by saying to you, the NNP and their surrogates will always be negative because they want to come back into power and they believe the same strategy, the same technique that they used between the period 2008 to 2013 worked for them then. They came back into power with all 15 seats. They were very negative. They attacked government and nearly everything. They had people within the different government departments leaking stuff to them. And then, you know, NDC at the time had serious infighting within the party and government at the time. But they believe they can do the same thing. The NNP believes they can do the same thing this time wrong and come back into power and ride their way back into power. As a result, they are investing a lot of money in PR. They have about 9 talk show programs, podcasts, YouTube, Facebook, just name it. And what they do is spend that hour or two disseminating false information, misleading information. That is what they do. And they all sing from the same hymn book, the same page. They're pushing the same thing. But gladly, our Grenadian people want good for Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique. They want to hear the positive things that are happening here and how we can improve, how we can build and not break, how we can transform and not be stagnant with our development. So most people are interested in hearing the good things and discovering the good things that are happening throughout our country. And that augurs well for governance and for further development when our people are more involved in the process, but not on the negative side, but instead on the positive side. Because a lot of things are happening that's good, wonderful. Amazingly, in the first time in Grenada's history, we saw our athletes treated so well. It is the first time in Grenada's history we saw a government and also corporate citizens, meaning business places, and Grenadians alike, right, treating our athletes with that kind of love and appreciation, and also giving them tokens of appreciation. That is what is important. It is on display. We have never seen that before. We saw a motorcade. First, a welcome party at the airport, right? I mean, scores of Grenadians went down at the airport to welcome home our Olympic athletes, those who medaled and those who did not. Because remember, you had 2 bronze medals, Anderson Peters and Lyndon Victor. And then we had King Kirani James, the ambassador, making it to the finals. And I mean, he almost made it to the podium. All right, but he did well. And then you had other athletes, about 3 other athletes or so, who participated. But look at the love, look at the appreciation, look at the welcome they got, look at the tokens they got. We saw the government of Grenada giving to Anderson Peters 100,000 US. That's US. That's about 256,000 EC. And then you had the government of Grenada giving to Lyndon Victor 100,000 US. Again, that's about 256,000 EC. The government of Grenada again gave Kirani James 100,000 US. That's about 250,000 EC. So that's $750,000 right there. Then the other athletes, they got 5,000 US from the National Lotteries Authority. And then we saw Coach Paul. He received 20,000 US. All right. 20,000 US is about what? 40? It's about 40? Close to 40,000 EC. All right. 15 is about, no, more than that, man. 15 is about 40 and 5, 10, right? Yeah, about 50, close to 50,000 Yes. 20. Let me get that right. Yeah, man. Correct? 50 something, yeah. 50 something thousand. Yeah, man. Yeah, 50 something thousand. I'm no mathematician, so let me take my calculator. 20 times 2.67. Yeah, 53. Of course, about 54. Almost $54,000. Almost $54,000. All right. So again, just saying that the government of Grenada spent in excess of $800,000 for the coach and the three athletes, Kirani James, Anderson Peters, and Lyndon Victor. And then the corporate body or bodies, the corporate citizens, as you would call them, the businesses, they step forward. We know that Kirani is a part of the Grenada Cooperative Bank family, right? He's like the ambassador, the face off, all right? He received 125,000 EC from the Grenada Cooperative Bank. All right. So that's really good. That's good. And then Anderson Peters received 100,000 from Republic Bank. Again, he's the face of Republic Bank. He's an ambassador for Republic Bank. And then Lyndon Victor received a vehicle, all right, from George F. Huggins and Company, worth 175,000 EC. That's a lot of money. But they all deserved far more. But Grenada is a very small place. The economy is very small in the scheme of things. I am certain there are people who were wishing that they all could receive $1 million, every one of them. All right? But can't happen. So we appreciate what they have done for this country, and we are happy that the government and the business places stepped forward and do that good thing, which was showing appreciation, expressing that not only in words, but in good, tangible, deeds or token, giving them something tangible, giving them money, giving them a vehicle, or giving him a vehicle, giving them something that they can look back on. And I'm really, really happy to see that. I want to applaud everybody who was involved in organizing and putting this thing together and making sure that it turned out the way it did. The motorcade, just the love. But as the first time in the history of Grenada, we have seen so much given to athletes who participated at the international level, and in this case, the Olympic Games. So we are really, really happy, and it's a good motivation. It's a good motivation for the younger athletes, because they are athletes in pre-primary, primary, secondary, at different levels, in colleges and so on. They now know that we appreciate them and we would reward them. We would show them, not just by telling them that we love them and we appreciate them and we thank them, but we're going to give them certain things so that they can at least have a foundation in going forward. So we really, really appreciate that. Big up your whole self. I want to also say that the NNP already started criticizing what took place from the airport around the island and to Las Ojes. The NNP is only good at criticizing. The NNP is only good at condemning. That is all they're good at. The NNP pundits, surrogates, and goons. That's all they are good at. Criticizing, condemning, and saying all manner of things. But when it comes to putting forward a good recommendation, a good solution, a good suggestion, putting something concrete on the table, they are brain dead. They already start criticizing and condemning this as though they could have done better. Well, why didn't you do better when you were there? They criticizing the Honorable Delma Thomas. They criticizing the airport and what happened there. They criticizing the motorcade. They criticizing what happened in Las Vegas. I mean, come on. I mean, after a while, Grenadians will become fed up of the NNP and their surrogates. They will become so upset with them. Because you see, it is one thing to condemn, but you should also show that you have a solution, that you could do better. It's like somebody coming and say to you, don't close the door like that. Don't close it this way. But they're not going to show you the right way to close it. Or they're not going to close it the right way. So I am saying they are just good at condemning. They are just good at criticizing. In fact, there are people who used to take a little sneak peek at their programs. They are now so fed up with the negativity. It's taking a toll on the psyche of the people. They just tune out. They don't want to hear them. They don't want to see them. Which is sad, really, really sad. Because they have so many programs. But yet still the numbers are not improving. You're not seeing any improvement. The same block of listeners flock towards them. Nothing more, nothing less. So I am saying we are moving forward. We are on the positive side. We want to see good for Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique. Look, we could have our differences, We could have our differences. We don't have to agree on everything. But when it comes to Grenada, when it comes to building this country, when it comes to transforming this country, we are on the same page. We want good for Grenada. We want Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique to be the best. We want this place to transform so our children and children can have a better place to live and to grow. And they want you to forget the period of Keith Mitchell and the NNP. Yeah, those NNP pundits, surrogates, goons, zygotes, and sycophants, they want you to forget. In fact, they're trying to remake the legacy of Keith Mitchell. You see, they're trying extremely hard on all their programs, trying to justify X, Y, and Z, as though Keith Mitchell wants to make a kind of comeback within NNP. He seemed not to be interested in leaving the party for anybody. So for the last month and a half, those pundits, surrogates, goons, zygotes, and sycophants, they have been pushing him. They have reels. They have little, YouTube this, YouTube that, Facebook this, Facebook that. And you wonder, even during Carnival, you see the political lunatic behind Kate Lewis, only grinning she teeth like sheshe cat, as old people would say. And you watch them. It's a mismatch at Ultra Goal or whatever that event was in the bourgeois event down in Lansapine. And you see that they're out of touch. They're out of touch with the ordinary, simple people. So while they say to you that they care about the poor and the vulnerable, they're going to the big events, right? I think Ultra Gold was what? $600 VIP or $600 all inclusive, whatever the name, whatever the amount was, something like that, I think. But that is where they go. They enjoy themselves around the bougies, the big shots, those who have. They're not coming around you, those NNP supporters that they call poor and vulnerable. In fact, Gary used to call some of his supporters poor. Well, Keith Mitchell add vulnerable to it. He no longer just call them poor, Call them poor and vulnerable. But that's what they do. They go to the bougies, the big events. And you saw Keith Mitchell, just a mismatch. A mismatch. It's just terrible. You wonder what's wrong with this guy. He wants to fit in, but he looked so odd, so awkward, right? But that's them. And then you had Kate Lewis in front, as usual, grinning she teeth like Sheshe Cat. And you wonder, well, what's going down with them? Why she don't go to the liquor simple events and activities? She's not going to do that. She's more about, jamming up Papa, what do you call him? The old cock, the old Morocco, the expired corn beef, that guy there. But I am simply saying to you, they are trying to remake Keith Mitchell. They are trying to rebrand him and change his legacy. But you can't do that. There are so many people who have been hurt under the NNP administration, under the Keith Mitchell-led administration. We experienced the wrath of Keith Mitchell and the NNP. We know what they give. So you cannot now come and define it or try to redefine it for us or change it. No. But I am happy that Grenadians are serious about the transformation agenda. Today, about 8 people called me. They want to register. They're going to register. They want to vote and participate in our democracy and participate in our elections. And that is what you want. You want Grenadians who are logical in their thinking to come on board and make sure that we solidify the gains made by this administration and that we make sure that they remain there for a very long time. Because it's a numbers game. Anyhow you look at it, it is a numbers game. And the NNP is of the belief that if they can keep the 5 seats that they have and they can gain 3 through all the lies and all the misinformation and all the stupidness that they are doing, then they come back into power. That is what they believe, right? They believe so. In fact, I can tell them the tongue of St. George is one of the weakest seats that NNP believe they have. The tongue, one of the weakest seats. With a proper strategy, that seat will be gone to the NDC. I'm telling you. They believe that Emmeline Peh is strong. She's not strong. No, she's not strong. In fact, let's look at it that way. Donald Trump was seen as strong when Joe Biden was running. But when Joe Biden was removed from the race and Kamala Harris popped up on the scene as the nominee, then he's no longer strong. So in Emmeline Peh's constituency, I can tell you, she's very weak there too. All right? And then we can go to Kate's constituency, Kate Lewis' constituency. You see, folks, all we need to do is to get our people organized and ready. Because there are some constituencies where they won by, like in Tongue, for example, Peter won by about 200 and something votes. You could imagine our good friends and brothers, because Tongue is pretty much empty, right? Most of the people gone overseas. If we can get our people to come back in the kind of numbers as they're registering, in the kind of numbers, Peter is history. You see, for me, when you win a seat and you form the government, when you win seats and you form the government, it is a very difficult thing to remove you. In fact, it's almost impossible if you know what you're doing. And once you keep to the people and you make sure that the people are okay, it's very difficult. So you have to keep doing what we are doing, right? I can tell you that because I am a numbers man. I look at the numbers, I look at the details, I go into those constituencies, I interact with people, I listen to people, and I know what's going down. So that is what they believe. So the NNP, they're spending a lot of time and resources on PR and negativity. So they're going after Tevin. Joke all you're making. Tevin is one of the strongest candidates out here at this point in time. The numbers will tell you that. Right? They're going after St. Patrick, East and West. Joke all you're making. Because you see, they believe that come the next election, they will be running against all the candidates or all the MPs who are there now. They're joking. They're joking. It's about winning and remaining in government. And we must do all that we can to maintain government, to remain in government. And we have to strategize. That is why I was saying this morning, if you have a bottle, all right? If you have this bottle full of water, or almost full, it's not full, almost full. You need to maintain what you have, and you need to add to it. So first and foremost, you need to maintain your supporters. You need to keep your supporters, your base. That's the first thing that you need to do. Keep your base, your supporters. Make sure that they are happy. How do you make sure that they are happy? You do proper canvassing, not sitting in an office or in a house and speculating that somebody supports NDC. You have to be on the ground, knocking on doors, speaking to people, and getting the numbers right. Getting to know how many people in this village, in this area, support you. And also their needs and their wants. How can you make them happy? How can you reach out? How can you connect with them? That's important. Very important. And then, once you maintain your block, the people who voted for you, then you can try to add. So the children who turn 18, they will be excited. They will be happy to go and register to support you because they see their mother and their father happy. They see their neighbor and their friends happy because you make them happy. And many a times, sometimes they don't need anything, Sometimes they don't need anything. They just want to see you. They want you to be there, right? So you can add by making sure that those who turn 18, that they register. And then we have the diaspora. The diaspora is 100% in support of the NDC. How do you capitalize on that? How do you make sure that they are not just folks in the diaspora, the 16th constituency, and you're not able to get them to come and vote? Because once you're a citizen of Grenada, no one could prevent you from voting. Once you are registered and your name appears on the voters list, no one could stop you from voting. And right now, some of those electoral offices, they are trying to frighten some of the people who are coming to register. And I'm saying to the NDC, you need to start taking note of these things and making sure that you do what you must do to get rid of some of these people. You have to get rid of some of these returning officers in some of those constituency parliamentary electoral office, right? The election offices. And it's easy. Remember, the Governor General is acting on the advice of the Prime Minister. And no matter what, even if they say, well, she are acting independent on certain things, that's stuck. You got to remove some of these people, right? Because what they're doing, they're trying to frighten some of the people and mislead some of those folks who are going to get registered. That is what they are doing. A gentleman spoke to me today. He said he went to get registered, right, in Philip Telesford constituency. Came from overseas, a born and bred Grenadian, he's living here. And he went to get registered. And they told him, well, he has to be here for 12 months before he can register. And I told him, I said, go to your birth certificate tomorrow or whenever you want to go and call me. And I will come and I will deal with this idiot who turn around and tell a Grenadian that. You see, they're trying to jackass the thing because they realize that the numbers are growing. But I am fearless. When it comes to the election, I am not like some of those MPs who are not going to do what they're supposed to do. It's a different ball game. This thing is about winning, ultimately. That is why I'm not loyal to a candidate or a member of parliament or some minister in any constituency. I'm loyal to the team and making sure that the most honorable Deacon Mitchell returns again for another term and make sure that he wins. That's me. I am for the team, not just one individual, right? And I'm in full accordance with the leader of the team. So I am saying, I said to the gentleman today, I said, go, you go. Just like a gentleman last week. He went there and they told him, well, you can't get registered because you have to show proof of address. And then I said, let me speak to the person. So let me speak to the person. And then she turned around and said to him, well, you need to get a bill from where you're living and bring it in. You see, registration is key. Registration is key because by law, as long as you're a Grenadian and you have a birth certificate proving that you're a Grenadian or a Grenadian passport, you are eligible to vote. And if they say proof of address and you can get a bill from where you live and bring it for them, okay. But you're not going to intimidate the people who are getting registered. And they are doing that deliberately. Deliberately so. Because they want to frighten. And I say to these people, if you're out there and you want to get registered and you want to support the NDC and you want to support this government, communicate with me. I'm different, you know. I am not like some of those MPs and ministers and who this and this and all of a sudden jacket and tie cause them to forget what caused them to have jacket and tie. I'm different. Different. Because for me, I am focused on winning another election. I am focused on winning another election. Not just this election. And we are going towards midterm. That is why I'm getting tougher on certain things. That is why I'm challenging those at the top to say to them, you got to get your people into place. Get work for your people and make sure that they are happy. Go out in the field and canvass the list. Get to know your people and your supporters. Spend 3 days in the field and 2 days in the office. It's a different ball game. It's a different ball game, right? And look, I'm just Kem Jones, you know. But what I do know is that I speak to more NDC supporters than all of them, than all, well, except our beloved Prime Minister and to a certain extent, maybe, you know, Andy or one of them. But generally speaking, I speak to more of our supporters on a daily basis than any one of them. So that I know. So I am saying again, it is so important that we focus on winning the election. Winning the election. And to win the election, we need to make sure that we are grounded and that we identify our supporters and that we make sure that our supporters are happy and that all is well in the different constituencies and the different villages. And I realize that there is move afoot to reach out to our supporters, which is great. Because you see, sometimes we get fooled by those NNP supporters who are playing games with you to get certain things. Most of those NNP supporters, they would never support you. They would never vote for you. When stupid season comes around, they back on the NNP train again. You know, I saw with, you know, the whole motorcade and celebrations and so on, a big NNP man with a mic. You know, sometimes you got to observe some things, huh? A big NNP man with a mic. And don't believe that he's doing it free, no. He's being paid to do it. Paid to do it. And these little things can send a certain message to supporters. These little things. He's being paid to do it. Don't fool yourself. You believe he's doing it free? Free for what? Paid. But I am saying sometimes these little things that send a certain message. You see, like this morning, Anne-Marie Aban, that two-tongue Barbie, that old sword, in my belief. This morning, you realize she tried to play nice when she talking about Andy, the Honorable Andy Williams. You know, and she always talk about, she just call him and she could get him and she, you know, doing things on behalf of him and blah, 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 whatever she. And then she tried to criticize Philip Tellisford. That's how she does everything. Criticize Philip Tellisford, another MP. She used to criticize our beloved Prime Minister, and every time she would throw in something there. She would criticize this other one and this other one just to make one person look good, right? But you have to be very careful with her because, as I told my good friend Andy, boy, this woman is not working in your best interest. She's not. Dangerous, in my belief. But I'm saying all of this to say we need to understand. We need to maintain, first and foremost, maintain this. Yes, it's not failed. It's not full as yet. Let's maintain this. Maintain what you have. Your supporters, your base, your people. right? Maintain that and then try to fool. Then try to fool it. But maintain it first and foremost. Your mission as an MP who won the election or an MP who almost win in that constituency. Maintain what you got, the support you got. Maintain that. And then work towards improving it. But do not try to make them NNP and them feel good. Because don't believe they're going to vote for you. I know about the NNP supporters more than you. All of you all. I know about them more than you. So don't believe that they're going to just come and vote for you. You're mad. You could give them a bus, a car, a house, land, what, everything, money. They still go and vote for NNP. Very few of them might change, but nothing significant to change, the race. They can't make you win. They don't have what it takes to make you win. Who will make you win is your NDC supporters and those in the middle, because those in the middle, they tend to decide who will win, or who wins, and who loses, right? And then you have the folks in the diaspora. They will play a pivotal role come the next election, right? That's critical, very, very important. But remember, maintain what you have, and then build on it. But don't tell me you have an NDC family or 3 families who support the NDC in an area. You're not giving them a contract. You're not giving them a little, help here, there, and everywhere. But they seen you go into an NNP household and try to help them. Well, the 3 households who support you and vote for you, they will get vexed. They will get angry. And you're going to lose what you have. But if you want to maintain, you need to make sure that your supporters are happy, that they're taken care of first and foremost. And then you can build by going and try to see if you could win 1 or 2 of those NNP. But generally speaking, those NNP supporters, they had to change. NNP is a mentality. They're going to pretend that they change, but the minute time they go in the polling station, in fact, even before that, once those NNP jerseys start distributing, because, from time to time they get it from Haiti, the minute time it start distributing and they see the stupidness, by the time they put it on, they turn dummy. They turn lunatic. They forget everything. They cussing you is what they're telling you. I know them. All now they want to live. They want to survive. They want to live the big life. I told you about them in VIP. I had the privilege of going in the VIP just to see, really, to see some of them. So I went through some of the VIP just looking at some of those folks inside there. NNP dominate those VIPs, and now that they're paying to go inside there. You believe they're paying? They ain't paying. They get free tickets. Free tickets they got to go inside those VIPs. And mind you, they're watching you as though, well, what are you doing here? Yeah, that's how they're operating. They're bad-minded and bold-faced and nasty, at times. But that's how they function. You have to make sure that you keep your enemies at bay. You have to control your enemies. And I have said over and over, in politics, you have to crush your enemies politically. Because if you don't, they're going to get rid of you and all your siblings, everything that connects to you. Because they want power, and they will do anything to get power. Even if they have to work OBR to get it, they will do it. That's how desperate they are. If they could do anything around you to mess up your life just to get power, they will do it. You cannot trust them. They want to come back into power. They're that nasty and that desperate. So you have to be tactical. You have to understand outside here. It's not easy outside here, They want power at all costs because they believe that Grenada is theirs. Somebody give them a wheel. They will Grenada to them. So we have to be very mindful of that. But remember, maintain and build. Maintain and build. And don't believe that you arrive, you're some minister of government now, and you forget about the political work. That's the dumbest thing you could ever do. That's the dumbest thing you could ever do. And NDC has always suffer when they are in government as a party. As a party, NDC has always suffered. So the government will be doing well. They will be doing extremely well. But the party itself will suffer. And that has to change. That has to change. It must change. Because if you have to win a constituency, you think government will make you win it? Unless you could use government in such a way that, you use government to help your people and to better your people and to, your supporters. This block. That's the only how. If you can use the government to make sure that this block of voters, your people, the people who voted for you, to make sure that they're okay, to make sure that they get what they're supposed to get. If you can use that, it's all well and good. In fact, when Keith Mitchell was Minister of Works during Blaze time, he's way in go and build road and build this and build that. All the time he was trying to solidify his political career so he could make a run for it to get the leadership of the party and to become prime minister. So he used his position in a very smart way to ride the wave and get in. So I am saying you need to use the government, the resources of the state in such a way that you make your people happy. Make sure that you do that. So you maintain your block. And don't worry what NNP go say and all those damn lunatics and them politically go say. You have to ignore them. Focus on your people and go down on the ground 3 times per week. All this ministry thing and all this, go down on the ground and do proper canvassing, proper campaigning. That's what you have to do, It is a numbers game. Why you think now in the United States, you have people calling on the phone to find out who's supporting who and who's supporting who, and whether who going out and vote and whether. You have to wait when it's too close to do that. You're doing it all now. You're doing it all now. You're going out with your team of men and women, and you say, today, we're doing this village, and we're taking with time. We're going and speak to people house to house. There are some people who already know who and where they stand, but you're going house to house. All right? Those that you can't handle, you come back again. But you're walking it because you're looking for the numbers. If you realize that you have 6,000 people who are registered to vote, 6,000 people, all you need is 3,001. It's simple, There are people going to dislike you and so on, but all you need to get is 3,100 people. Those who are here, the diaspora, wherever, once they register on that voters list. 3,100. And you maintain that. You treat them good. Make sure that they're happy. You keep in touch with them. When election time comes, you don't have to run and wonder who come in and vote and who they. Nah, you already know who need transport. You already know who need wheelchair. You already know who need a cot. You already know who need bus. You already know who need this. You already know. Your machinery is well oiled. That is how you win an election. And you have to think in that mode. But how I see some of those NNP folks, boy, NNP is an institution. They all about the place. And they dominating everywhere. You see them during the carnival time. You see the big breast and big chest one on the what she or he, I wonder if he or she commenting, a big commentator, Yeah, man. They're what? Commentators? Commenting and so on. Yeah. It's amazing. Yeah. They all about the place. They getting the money still no matter what. You think they're doing it for free? They're being paid to do it. You think them alone could do it? No. Remember those ones they saying only Kita could run Grenada? And if he and the Grenada go, well, now Kita and they and Grenada doing well? A breath of fresh air. Things are transforming. The most honorable Deacon Mitchell is doing a fantastic job, a magnificent job. Right? But they position themselves. You see them every day in different places. They're getting all the food, they're eating all the food. And they're living good, Yeah. But they're supporting the party. They're supporting the NNP, the majority of them. That's how they function. So we have to be very careful where that is concerned. Don't believe that Grenada all of a sudden would accept this new type of governance, right? Where you usher in a new type of governance and just include everybody in everything. And then don't watch face and don't look for your people. Don't look for those who are NDC or NNP. Just, you're joking. That's a recipe for disaster. You hear me? A recipe for disaster. Who is this person here? Let me just block up that person, right? Who's that person here? You know me, under my live, let me see, who's that person here? Okay, block that. Once I see you come under the live and I just block you off. Because, I don't really need these people under my live, really and truly, That's how I do it. Just block them off. I've done that for quite a number of years. Come under the live, I block you from Facebook, block you from YouTube. I don't care. I don't really miss those who I block. Just block them off. Because they're still going to find some way to come and peep at the program, look at the program. Because why? This program dominates all the other programs. Our numbers is second to none. Second to none when it comes to political, economical, looking at economics and politics and, some minor social issues. This is the program. All right. So again, I'm saying we have to be mindful because the strategy that the NNP used during their time in power, it was very simple, They take care of their people. They make sure and they take care of their people, their supporters. They could care hell. They could care less about the rest. They take care of their people. And then they pressure the others. Some of them succumb and they join them. That's what they did. Right? So you have to understand that. And then they call their supporters poor and vulnerable. So they were making more children than anybody else you could think about. So they were so huge that in one household you have 5 voters within no time. So I am saying it's so important that you understand what's taking place. And they call them the poor and the vulnerable. And they sign them up for the poor relief assistance. They sign them up for the housing assistance. They sign them up for the material assistance. They sign them up for the family labor this. They sign up for everything. The debushing program, all the social safety net programs. And they're surviving with $100 million worth of social safety net programs. They're eating their food. They're surviving year round. That is what the NNP administration did to take care of their people. So they're well embedded and entrenched in all of the different departments and every single thing here. Every single thing. But we need to understand, once you reach midterm in an election, you need to change your approach. It has to be about politics. It has to be about getting on the ground. It has to be about identifying your supporters. It has to be about making sure that your supporters are happy. It has to be about reaching out to them, knowing who are the people going to vote for you and support you come election day. That's what it is. And I would never stop talking about that because you see, I understand how and what it takes to win, how to win and what it takes to win. All right? I understand that to a T because I know wearing a jacket and tie will not make you win. Being in a ministry in some office will not make you win. Never. You have to get down and mix and mingle with the ordinary people and do the campaigning in such a way that you help the people who are supposed to get the help. Yeah. So I'm saying you got to understand. Look, a typical example. There are some people who come on this live. I don't care who they be. As long as they come and they talking the NNP dotishness, I just block them. I don't need them. Because, look at this. During the opposition phase, NDC had no seats. Right? Fight the struggle, this program. And coming close to the election, I just block nearly all of them. Those NNP, I just block them off. After the election, I go back and I unblock them and they come right back. Yeah, they have no shame, Those NNP supporters, some of them are shame plate brick. They have no shame. They beg you today, you say, no, I don't give you. They come back again, they beg you again. You say no again, they beg you. They have no shame. These are NDC person, but the many time they beg you and they may not even beg you. But every time they beg you and you tell them no, they ain't coming back. Different. But I'm simply saying the strategy has to be different. Because to win, it's not difficult to win, No, most of those constituencies is small, 2,000 votes you're fighting for to get to win a seat, 1,000 something votes. Small constituencies. All right? But nevertheless, folks, I want to say to you that we are pressing forward. We are pressing forward with a united team. We are pressing forward to transform Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique because we understand that we owe it to our children and children to make this place better. The NNP, they're spending a lot of time with the negativity. They're spending a lot of time pushing disinformation, misinformation, and they believe that they're going to succeed, but they're not succeeding. I am a man full of data. I follow the numbers. I interact with people. And that is why I'm a cut above the rest. I'm different. I don't guess this, right? So you have to continue remaining focused. Understand that the work must be done. You have to do the work. That is why I never stop trying to register people from the diaspora, our brothers and sisters, Grenadians from the diaspora. And they can't stop you. And we will mobilize and organize to get you back here come the election. That will happen. And that is why I continue to speak to the NDC supporters and to the MPs. I don't think that me and those ministers, we don't chit-chat, We chit-chat very often, very frequently. But because I have a talk show program, I have to explain also to the supporters. So they too can speak to the MPs and put some sense where sense is needed in their head when it comes to the politics, getting on the ground and interacting with people, but not just going wild, and just yap on any house. No, you have to be focused in the field. You have to be focused. You have to go there with a purpose, objective. I'm results-based oriented. To get to that outcome, you need to have outputs. To get to the outputs, you have to have activities. You have to well coordinate and organize your stuff to get there. And after the outcome, you have to have a vision and a mission and in other words, you got to. It's matriculative. It's step by step, but you must do something to get this result. You must do something to get that result. And that is how we have to work. You have to be tactical and strategic as you move forward. So I am saying the mission is one that's huge, but we can accomplish that. We can accomplish it. We have to be tactical because you cannot get high and mighty and believe that you have arrived and forget the political work. Where you're quick to talk on some news thing, you're quick to talk rubbish. No, you can't. You have to get down on the ground. You have to get down there and mix and mingle with the people. That is what you do. Because if you don't know, Grenadians remember the person who gave them that last meal, or the meals, or that lumber, or that little work, that galvanized that window, that door. Remember they used to say, well, Gary make them wear panty, or know how to wear panty. No, Gary make them know how to wear drawers. I think something like that they used to say. It's Gary that did that. Just that. Just that. And they remember it. They never forget that. So again, we have to understand simple things. Simple things. And that is why I say to people, you got to understand sometimes what you must do. All right? I remember only recently I engaged someone and he said to me, Kem Jones, you remember me? Remember when COVID strike and you came and you fed me and my family? You brought hampers and so on to me and my family? People don't forget things easily. They don't. They don't forget things easily. I want to say that there is 2 events that I want to tell you about. It's Labor Day out there in New York. Well, the first Monday in September, that's the 2nd of September. But on the 1st of September, Sunday the 1st of September, my good friend Frances Purcell sent me this. Grenada Independence Anniversary Committee of New York presents 1974, Sunday, September the 1st, 2024, starting from 8 p.m. until Labor Day weekend, Nazareth High School, East 58th Street, between Clarendon Road and Avenue D. $40 as the cost, dance the night away. Then they have a grand raffle. Enter your chance to win a Nissan car, $2,000 US, $1,000 US. All right. Grenada celebrates 50. Music by top DJs, Jude and Magician. For more information, call Nick, call Frances, call Janice, Hazel, the Grenada Consulate, Peter, and Rockin' G. And I have the flyer on my Facebook page. All right, so you can check it out there. Nick is 347-528-3038. Frances 917-282-9405. And the others, you can go check it out on my Facebook page. And don't forget my big event or that event that I will be attending. In fact, I'll attend both events. But this event that I'm about to tell you about, the Dynamic Hour Charity Party, that one is a very important event too. And I want to encourage you to make it a date and be a part of this. It's on Saturday, the 31st of August, the day before the event I just talked about. All right. Music by DJ Screw. And it's in the basement, 297 East 91st Street between Claxon and Lennox Road. All right. Drinks and food on sale. Starting time 6 p.m. until. For tickets, WhatsApp Kem, that's me, your humble servant, 1473-415-4817 or 1332-261-4619 or Julie on 1347-249-6805, Glenroy 1718-450-4436, Norma 1-347-623-6793, Stephen 1-347-385-6583. Right? So it's the Karaku and Pity Matnik Pasi there. All of them there in that contact. So, I've always been very close to the people of Karaku and Pity Matnik and the folks in the diaspora generally. In fact, I went up to an event organized by the folks of Karaku and Pity Matnik. You remember that? That's during the time of Beryl, just before Beryl struck. It was a very nice event. All right. So I look forward to you supporting this event, the Dynamic Hour Charity Party. I look forward to you being there. I will be there. And I'll be there in the other event too that I just announced on the next day. That's at Nazareth High School. So, I look forward to you being there at both events. But as I explained to you, the Dynamic Hour Charity Party, it's a very important event, and I'm looking forward to you getting a ticket for $40 US and being a part of that event. All right. So quite a bit, Labor Day weekend, starting from, it started already, Grenada Day all the way up to Labor Day. So this weekend, the next weekend is Labor Day. So this weekend and the next weekend. All right. So folks, I want to wish you all the best for tonight. I want to wish you all the best. Yeah, the flyer is actually on my page. So you can get the flyer on my page. So you can find the flyer on my page on Kem Jones of Grenada Transformation Agenda. You can find the flyer there. So all you need to do is just check it out and you'll realize it's there. All right. So look forward to having a damn nice time with you back there in New York. All right. I look forward to having a wonderful time with you there in New York. And it starts with you buying the tickets. It starts with you supporting, all right? Supporting the events. So 2 events so far. And I did mention the first one. And then the second one, as I told you, is the Dynamic Hour Charity Party. So come out and have a nice time. Food and drinks on sale. We're going to have a wonderful time. It's a massive basement. All right? Hey, Norma, my good friend Norma Joseph. All right? That's Leo's wife. Norma, she's a darling. All right? Yeah. She's a darling. Good. So I look forward to you being there, getting a ticket. You call me, call at me, send me a WhatsApp message or so. I look forward to seeing you. All right? We have tickets on sale. So be a part of that charity party. All right? Nice. And I'll be there. Remember, I will be there for that event. So get your tickets early. Get your tickets early because you have this week, then you have next week. And next week will bring you into Saturday the 31st of September. So you got to get your tickets. You have to get your tickets pretty early. Call at me, send me a message, or send any of the other folks their message, and they will take it from there. Folks, take good care. Have a wonderful night. I'll be back with you tomorrow.